Almost immediately his facial expression went angry and he walked straight up to me and actually muttered, "How dare you call me out like that? If people knew who I was, I wouldn't be in this business. Next time you call me out like that, be ready for a barrel."
Here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack. Welcome back, talking shit and drinking wine, like and subscribe. Here's the crack.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Here's the Crack podcast. As usual, if you haven't already, please subscribe, follow, what did you say last week? Do us a rating.
Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. We're close to 100. Go
Are
do
we?
it.
We're
gotcha. 90 now.
90 now. So someone has clearly heeded our
Well, not
advice.
The podcast hasn't even went out yet. So.
Oh, that's awkward.
I know.
We've been exposed.
Bootleg podcast.
But yes, hope
I've been
everybody's
selling on fucking 4chan for 6 months.
hope everybody is doing well.
Why? We're in a fucking cost of living crisis and you just think everyone's doing well.
Fucking Rashish has just been voted in.
Rishi. Here, fishy Rishi. What's going on? Something's not good.
I'm loving all the memes of Liz Truss at the minute, where it was like she was standing up and she was like, "I am no quitter." She's like, "I've resigned." But anyway, let's take politics and put it in that box.
Silly Lizzie.
We're not about that, are we?
Lazy Liz.
Ross identifies as an Irishman.
We'll just get straight into it with Tommy's question time. Roll the intro.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
It's Tommy's question time.
What do you think about people in relationships having girl or boy best friends?
Oh, the friends with the person
Can you
before.
not do that?
Yeah.
Can you not do that? Seriously, that is so fucking annoying. There's people driving their cars into walls right now. Step away from the mic. You don't have to fucking eat it. Step
What do you want me
back.
to do? Spit it out on the
You
fucking
can
table?
sit back a bit, relax.
Relax. You're too stressed.
You're leaning
Too
and-
stressed. So your question was, and I'll repeat it for the people who missed that because of Shay's chanking.
Jesus Christ.
What do you think of people in relationships having best friends of the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Were they friends with the person before they got in a relationship?
Does that matter?
Well, kind of like.
Let's discuss. If they were, do you think that's okay?
Yeah. Well, if you're friends with like say you're a girl and you had a boyfriend who you were friends with before you got into a relationship,
Yeah.
and then you suddenly get a boyfriend,
Yeah.
and then I'm confused myself now. And then your boyfriend is like, "Look, you can't be friends with him anymore." Like, that's not really fair, is it?
No, but like how would you feel if that was the case though? Like if you say you started going out with Aoife and she had a way best friend,
Yeah.
but like she was like going out to basically going doing things, like going to the cinema, going out for dinner.
Yeah. So like if
Would
you,
you
if
care
you
like?
messaged her one night, it's like, "Well, babe, let's go to the cinema. Nachos on me," and she went, "No, I'm going with Terrence."
Yeah, that'll be a bit weird, like. But
But
there's
that's
also
what I
like you
mean,
could
though.
also have friends that you have like a friend of the opposite sex who's in your group.
Yeah.
Like say
but,
there's the three of us and there's like
us,
a girl
what
who's in
about
our
us?
friend group,
So I
like,
thi-
and
I
you
thi-
always all went out together.
I think
I
we
know, but that's what we do. But we're all in
I
relationships.
think we need to define though what's a best friend. Do you know when does that kind of get? Because like I have friends that are girls. Lucinda has friends
I
that
know,
are
but
boys.
like, would you ever like just go for the cinema, go out for dinner with them? Would they come over and watch Netflix?
Those are
No.
datey things. Though.
Yeah, that's bridging on to like a more relationship type thing. It's a strange one. I do see where like it's a hard question to ask because
Well,
like
that's why I asked it.
it's
Tommy's question time.
being
Quality content.
being upfront. If Lucinda was spending a pile of time with a guy best friend, would I be slightly like would my nose be out of shape? Probably. Like, yeah.
What the fuck?
But
does that
then
mean?
you need.
Like, would I be a bit like?
Would you need to put
It's
in,
weird.
like say like we'd all planned to watch the football or something on like say Brown was like to me, "Oh, do you want to do something on Thursday night?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm watching the football with the boys."
Yeah.
But if say that was like she was like, "Oh, do you want to do something on Thursday night?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm going for a drink with some girl,
Amanda.
She's my best friend."
She's my best friend.
But do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
would that not be a bit?
Yeah.
How would you feel? It's Tommy's question time, but it's time to ask.
I feel
Tommy
like,
the question.
like I
Tommy's
think I
answer
get what you're saying. I feel like there is sort of like a line where like you're sort of like that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you know
if
what I
you
mean?
if you're saying there like you're going with drinks with her and like say other friends as well, like not specifically just her, like.
But if it was just her on her own,
No. Where are you going for drinks, like?
no. But like even say like say like Bron was like to me, I'm going out for a drink after work with one of my mates, and you're like, who are you going out with? And she was like, some whoever, he's a boy, like, and you're like, right, okay.
Yeah.
Would that be okay? Or would you be a bit like...
See, it depends where you're going to, like. Because, like...
I feel like
you
you're
could
just
go-
swerving the question in
if
every
you went-
way.
Yeah.
But, for example, if you were saying, like, I'm going for food here with my friend who's of the opposite sex, and he goes, we're going to KFC, like,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to think much of that. But whereas if you turn around and be like, we're going for a sit-down 5-course steak dinner, like,
Yeah.
something sus there, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas, like, with drinks, like, you could say, like, we're going down to the local pub, like, where there'll probably be some of the other lads are or whatever, like,
Yeah.
and you bring the opposite sex friend.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of okay.
If you're
Whereas,
going out with a group of people.
Yeah, I think it's.
but I think place too, like, is important.
I think it's context. Like at the same time, like for example, like today I was working, and at lunch, me and a girl from work went across to get like lunch.
Oh.
I think it's like a
Well,
con.
that's-
like
do
on
you know
a
what I
date?
mean? Do you know? No, do you know what I mean? It's like, but like at the same time,
But that's
if one of
different,
yous
though.
was driving through the city or whatever, like, and seen like out of context, be like, what's he doing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you always need
Which
to.
is not like, you're not spending that much time with her. Like
Yeah, I know, but
you're
like-
not best friends.
How do you know?
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I think it's just a
The
very
whole best friend sounds a
Yeah.
bit cringy, but I feel like you it's someone you regularly spend time with. Basically,
Yeah.
you'd speak
Yeah.
to all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like even with texting and that.
yeah,
Like if you were sitting on Lucinda was constantly texting
yeah,
somebody and they're like, we're just mates. But if it was a girl, you wouldn't give a fuck.
yeah,
Like I think like how much Brona texts her mates, like who
Yeah.
are girls. But like if it was a boy and she was just texting them all the time, you'd be a bit like, if it
yeah,
was constantly the same boy, would it not piss you off a bit? Like?
yeah.
Would you rather just text loads of boys?
I know, but do you know what I mean? Like,
Big group
Yeah.
chat with the boys.
I know, but if,
that
like, it's
wouldn't
like if
bother
it was
me,
a
like.
group chat, like that's different. Like,
Yeah.
but if it was
Yeah.
if it was one, so if Aoife was texting some guy all the time,
I wouldn't really care, like.
I don't know. I think we all know. Like at the same time, take every single one of us. Like I don't. To my knowledge, Lucinda doesn't have a best friend who's a boy. Brona doesn't have
but
a
would
best
it
friend
bother
who's a
you
boy.
if she did?
You see, but this
This is no one's answered the question, and everyone's just swear. Oh well, but like if there's a difference,
would it bother you?
I think if
Such a fucking hypocrite.
everybody's just swerving the question. Would it bother you? I think.
It's not that
Would it bother you? Yes or no?
I don't know. Probably, like it depends. But like it depends on the situation. Like.
It wouldn't bother me. Unless.
But then it's hard because it's hard.
Unless
to
it got
put-
weird.
Right, I'll be honest with you. Right now, would it bother me? Absolutely not. And that's given I'm giving you context. I've been with Lucinda nearly 8 years. It wouldn't bother me. Like I would have to have very unshakable proof that there was something dodgy going on for me to even go. Because do you know what I mean? I think when you've been with someone for so long, you just trust them. However, if it was 6 months into a relationship and I didn't really know Lucinda, would I be a bit like, this is weird? Yeah, I think it would
But
take a lot of getting used
If
to.
all of a sudden she started hanging around in this band work and going for drinks with them and going for dinners, would you not be a bit like,
It's the way you're phrasing it.
Cost of
though.
living.
If it's all of a sudden, like, it's a bit weird. Like,
that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah, I think.
But then,
but you're saying I wouldn't bother
but if
me.
he said like if he's going with
I
Lucinda
know, but
6
this
months,
isn't the
but
situation. Yeah,
say she was friends with this person before they were going with each other,
yeah.
and like we're friends for ages or whatever, and then it was a continuous thing while you were going with each other.
Yeah, and
I-
if it's all to do with context as
Yeah.
well. Like at the same time, like if Lucinda just randomly was like, "Oh, I've started hanging out with a fella from work. We hang out all the time." Would I feel a bit like sus? I'd be like, "Yeah, that's weird." But equally, I know if I was in the shoes where like I started hanging about with a girl that like I was working with or something, and we suddenly became this quote unquote best friends, like would I be like going out of my way to do things on my own with her? Probably not, because I know I would probably be wanting to integrate like other people into it to try and make it look less fishy.
Yeah.
Because like it or like it not, that's how people think. Do you know what I mean?
I think it depends.
It's a strange one.
It's hard because it depends on the situation. It doesn't bother me, the idea of her being friends with a bi, but it's more like, I think if they were like pecking you over the bi and then like doing
well,
things.
I think what you doing things.
Doing things they shouldn't be doing.
I think what you're more alluding to there is where's the sort of line drawn where you suddenly feel replaced.
Where is the line?
Do you know what I mean?
Where is it?
That's it.
Answer.
No, I don't know.
Where do you think the line is, where it would bother you? Like?
I think if they're going on weird dates and shit, that'd be weird.
So you're okay with
I'd be
just,
fine
but
with it.
everything you said is in like a group setting.
Yeah, but I'd still be fine with it, like, but as long as it wasn't fucking like
Right,
going out late night like dates and cinema dates and shit. If you're going down to the pub with them as friends, like group of friends, or they texted each other, I don't care, like, or like they went to meet each other or whatever, but not like, as long as it wasn't in a fucking weird scenario. Like.
I see, again, I know you're gonna get annoyed at this. It depends on the context. Like you go into a pub, right?
Yeah.
Aoife's sitting at the bar with another fella. She's like, "Oh, come on in, Shay, have a drink with us." Are you gonna be upset? No, I don't think you would.
What if she told them that she was going with a group of ones and it was just the
Well, if she didn't,
you're throwing spanners.
If she didn't tell you about it and you just walked in, you're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Like, that would be a bit.
Whereas if you just
and then she'd be like, "Wait, what are you doing here?"
Yeah,
and then it'd be like the Spider-Man meme.
What boyfriend? Best friend? yeah, it's a weird one. Anyway, I feel like let us know if you're listening to this right now and probably cause an absolute brain fart if you're driving in the car. So many people are going to be listening to this and just it's going to trigger.
I've seen a few of these on TikTok where they've been talking about it, and it's such mixed opinions.
Yeah.
And like there's so many people, like I've seen a few girl ones where they're like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
and you're like, fair.
Yeah. Well, fair. Let us know what you think if you're listening to this right now. Does your partner, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend have a best friend, quote unquote, of the opposite sex?
Another thing.
And how do you deal with it? Let us know.
It also depends if he's sexier than you.
Oh, yeah. But how do you?
See, that's like why I don't care.
That's an insecurity though.
Again,
but I don't. That's why I don't care. Like, because she could be friends with
him
because there's no sexier than me, boy.
Then again, it depends on the context of that, because what you think's sexy and she thinks sexy could be two different things.
Oh, maybe she doesn't even think
you're
you're sexy.
But I'm the definition of sexy though.
Do you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Anyway, moving on swiftly. Can't go for that. The way you made eye contact with me, they're just getting freaked me out.
Are you turning on?
Yeah.
They sounded to be like, you can't be friends with him anymore.
But Shay's my best friend.
Bestie.
What if we were all friends, right? And one of us got a gender change,
right?
and to become a woman. Like,
yeah.
Think like any of your girlfriends would be mad about that, like?
I don't think we'd be friends anymore.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Only joking.
That was a joke.
Oops.
Yeah, I wish we'd have just moved on whenever I said move on.
Answer.
It's a bit of
It depends on the context. Shay goes to the absolute extreme. But anyway, we'll get straight into this week's main topic. You've been doing a bit of research, haven't you?
Have I?
Yes, you
Oh,
have.
but it's because I've all been told about Ross.
Yes.
Bossy Rossi.
You'd be safer just doing all the research yourself.
I believe it was you who brought this one up to me the other day.
Yeah, because your topics are shit.
Something in the news is called something.
I
in
thought you
the
farted there.
Obviously, in the news, it's been going off because apparently James Corden is an absolute prick.
Yeah.
So basically, what has happened? There's been a few examples, but like the main one that's came out is this restaurant Balthazar's in Manhattan. So basically, he was in the restaurant, and I think it's the guy who owns the restaurant posted about it, like, and he said, this was his post. He goes, James Corden is a hugely gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man, and the most abusive customer to my Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. I don't often 86 a customer. I don't know what that means. Though today I 86 Corden, it did not make me laugh. Here are 2 examples of the funny man's treatment of my staff. Manager report. Number 1. In June, James Corden was here on table 61. Although this debacle, it happens very occasionally in all restaurants. After eating his main course, Corden showed the hair to Balthazar manager G, who was very apologetic. Corden was extremely nasty to G and said, "Get us another round of drinks this second, and also take care of all our drinks so far. This way I write any nasty reviews on Yelp or anything like that."
Okay.
So that was the first coincidence.
You'd have probably told him to rip and tear on it. Like, what's Yelp gonna do? You know?
You'd
And
be
the
different
fact
if he was like,
that he's
I'm
a
gonna
famous celebrity
yeah,
and
I'm
he's
gonna-
going to go and Yelp.
I'm gonna slag you off in Saturday Night Live or whatever he does. No, you're not.
The Late
Or
Late Show.
The Late Late Show. Like, no.
86 means to refuse to serve customer, get rid of or throw out.
So he'd have basically barred him from the restaurant.
Oh my word! They've put up a James Corden.
Oh, fuck off. Go home.
What? Why is that
James
meant to be fun?
Gordon.
Corden,
And
like
cordoned it
cordoned
off.
him off.
You're pathetic.
Get out. I'm fucking gonna 86 you.
Manager report number 2. James Corden was at Balthazar with his wife on October 9th for brunch. He asked for a table outside. Brunch, I can't even say what that is. Brunch maitre d' Ali took the party to table 301. Mr. Corden's wife ordered an egg yolk omelette with cheese and salad. A few minutes after they received the food, James called their server MK and told her there was a little bit of egg white mixed with the egg yolk. MK informed the floor manager, G. The kitchen remade the dish, but unfortunately sent it with home fries instead of salad. That's when James Corden began yelling like crazy to the server, "You can't do your job, you can't do your job. Maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelette myself." MK was very apologetic and brought G over to the table. He returned the dish, and after that everything was fine. He gave them promo champagne glasses to smooth things out. G said the Corden was pleasant to him but nasty to the server. MK was very shaken, but the professional that she is continued to finish her shift.
Flip me.
I've seen
So-
people get mad over less.
Since all this has happened, he's came out and apologised
Right.
on his show. Like. He says,
On the Late Late Show.
yeah,
I say he's only doing it. He's
Yeah,
signed
he's
on
only
his
doing
last
it.
season.
Yeah,
like.
he's only doing it because he has
Yeah.
to.
No, he signed on his last season on the Late Late Show.
Oh, did he?
So he's said he's terminating his contract after this year.
Wow.
Obviously because of all this.
basically addressing the incident during the latest episode of his talk show, The Late Late Show. Corden said it was never his intention to upset the restaurant workers, but said he was reacting to the fact his wife Julia Carey was given food she was allergic to, and that her order had come to the table wrong 3 times. The 44-year-old added that in the immediate aftermath he had been walking around thinking that I haven't done anything wrong. I didn't shout or scream, I didn't get up off my seat, I didn't call anyone names and use derogatory language, he said. But the truth is, I have made a rude comment and it was wrong. It was an unnecessary comment, it was ungracious to the server.
Do you think they did exaggerate it just for...
Maybe. The Gavin and Stacey star explained that after seeing Mr. McNally's post, he immediately contacted him and they had a good talk. He appreciated the call. I was happy that we got to clear the air and I felt we dealt with it privately, but by this point the story was out there and more people were upset. I get it, I totally understand. I understand everybody being upset and I accept everybody's opinion, he said. He added that he hopes to return to the restaurant when he has been back in New York to apologise in person.
It's hard to know whether he's only apologising because he's been called out now.
Obviously.
Do you know
Apparently it's like I've seen loads of stories about him being a prick. I also seen this TikTok. It was like an Australian radio station were talking about him, and they were like, our hostess was saying, she was like, James Corden was in like private, or what do you call it,
First class.
Yeah.
and he's like, there's this woman with a crying baby and she was escorted down to the empty site beside James Corden. She was like, I was so shocked to see that Corden didn't react or didn't make a scene. He simply just put on his eye mask and his noise cancelling headphones and sat there. He just says the plane landed and James Corden said nothing, didn't complain, but then as the woman tried to get the bags out of the locker above him, she said, can you not just hold the baby while I get the bags?
She
The
said
woman
that.
was his wife.
Is this real?
I don't know if it's true or
Oh
not,
my
but I've seen
gosh.
it.
Surely not. Can't be. She wouldn't put that out about him.
Who knows?
So there was a video I seen a while back, and I think it was meant to be like a funny video. I think it was actually done by the Late Late Show, which was basically like they were pranking him basically to feel like he was having like the worst day of his life. So when he came in to like park in his space,
Also,
like,
Ant Deck.
the guy didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
And like I thought from the get go, like they done one on your boy Bradley Walsh in The Chase, and it was actually funny. But like whenever they did it on James Corden, I remember the first thing I thought was like, no, he went really thick here all of a sudden.
It was
And
so
they
funny.
even like parked like a big U-Haul van in his parking space and all. And like he was like, I'm in a rush and all. And like realistically, I'm like the part of me that's not privileged could have been was like, why do you just not go park in another space? But then at the same time, you're like I understand the context. It obviously, like, there's a series of things. The whole point was for him to get mad. But I specifically remember whenever you said the other night we should talk about this whole James Corden thing, thinking like I saw that video and that was one of the first things I thought was, you seem like a bit of an arrogant guy.
There was a bit of that was funny. It was like they wouldn't let him in through the gate, and they were like, you need ID and all. He's like, oh, whatever, and he's like, who are you? And he's like, James Corden from the Late Late Show, and he pointed, and there was literally a building with a big massive banner with his face on it. But I don't know.
It's an interesting.
I was a bit surprised, like, because like James Corden's one of those celebrities that you think, oh, he's just lovely, like, you know, and he's always comes across as the Mr. Nice guy. Like.
But do you think that because he was like that in Gavin and Stacey though?
But even like, I would have always watched The League of Their Own, and he was always funny. Like.
I don't remember.
And even in interviews and all, he always comes across so well. Like, I've listened to podcasts, and he's always so, like, the way he speaks is so, like, you know.
Yeah. Did you see the Patrick Stewart thing?
No.
Yeah.
Where he presented him the award, and did Patrick Stewart turn around and go, so he started to make a joke about it?
Like, he I think Patrick Stewart called
grabbing
him
each other.
fat. No.
Yeah, because James Corden was like, oh, so this is the part where you call me fat now, and then like Patrick Stewart sort of stopped, so obviously he was going to call him fat, but James Corden came out and said that he had like given him a real nice introduction and all before he came up.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Stewart, but like, fair enough, like if you're only after giving someone fucking like kudos about what to do, and then the next thing they come up and call you a fat cunt, like,
Yeah.
you get pissed off, like.
I remember seeing it was really awkward, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have just like cut it out for the camera and then just like sort it out later, though.
But this
It's quite
it's not
childish.
going to have a good effect on him now.
No, especially coming up to now when he's like starting to not like do the Late Late Show, if that makes sense. If he's like, you know, he could have went out in a bang.
I get it when like celebs get pissed off about like people coming up for photos and all, and people just expecting to get a photo with them, because you're like, well, fair enough, like, if you're getting that all the time, you're gonna get sick of it. But like, if you're in a restaurant getting on like that, like,
And I think as well as that, you choose, once you do that, you choose to accept that that's the life you're now leading, and like people will be watching your every move, and that's just it, like. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like I seen a thing the other day of like it was like a clip from like, I don't know, it was on TikTok, but from like I think it was that documentary they did on Billie Eilish on Disney Plus, and she was pure like hiding in the back room and was like, I don't want to meet these people, like all I do is I stand out there and all these people want to shake my hand and meet me, but like they don't care, like I don't know who these people are. I think it was her mum or something was like, you're here because you're signed to a record label, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you chose to do what you're doing now, so accept that this is the life that you know, there is expectations. And like, I'm sure James Corden's getting paid a heap of money now, so like, do you know what I mean?
no, but that's not even about the money, that's just about like you're being a good person,
respect, like. But then, you know, if you're standing and you 3 meals come down to you wrong, what's your reaction going to be? I suppose,
but like you wouldn't get on like that.
Do you always find though that it's it's such an extreme, like my wife's allergic to this, like it wasn't like she just didn't want it, like it's always an excuse, like a big excuse.
If someone got your order wrong 3 times, like I suppose if you put yourself in that situation and you think of the amount of time you've been waiting to get your food, and they got it wrong 3 times, but in that they only said it twice, so like they had it whatever on it, and then he came down and it was meant to be a salad and it was fries, and then he basically cracked up. But you wouldn't get on like that, like. You wouldn't be like, oh, can you not do your job, you can't do your job. You wouldn't say that, you'd just be like come on, this is ridiculous.
And you'll just be making everything worse. You don't know what's going to happen whenever that plate's
and
out the bag.
You probably would have got and then the first one where he gets food, like there's a hair in his food, like, you'd sort of be like, but you wouldn't be like, fucking you have to pay for her drinks for the rest of the night. Like.
I'm unsure if I would have to be very certain that wasn't my hair.
Yeah.
Oh well, you'd know if it was yours. Like.
Do you know what I mean? Like? Why?
Be grey. Be shining. Like. See yourself on it.
Thanks.
I am insulted. Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if I look down and see a hair in my food, I'm probably going to think like probably not going to say anything because what like that's your hair. It could be anybody's hair. Someone could have walked past and ping, float, plop.
So what do you think of the situation?
It annoys me a bit though.
What?
It's like people are fucking snowflakes. Like he's a wanker. Like.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
People are wankers.
Just
like.
let it go. Like.
I think it's just blown way out of proportion. Like he probably has been a dick and all, and maybe out of order, but like people fucking do a lot worse in the world. Like.
Yeah.
Like people have been cancelled for a lot worse as well, like, and people are trying to cancel them for being a dick. Like. Some people are just dicks. Like.
And like how many people have been in the restaurant and been a wanker?
Yeah, exactly.
Surely it's not just been
and they're not fucking losing their career over it. Like.
Probably just people who want to exploit.
I feel like this
has
has been building up though. Like I think there has been plenty of things happening about him. Like.
Yeah.
And then Ryanair banned him.
Did they?
Yeah.
Ryanair just does what they want now.
They're just publicity stuff.
He wouldn't fucking fit in one of their planes. See the leg room? He's got big legs.
He wouldn't be flying on them anyway.
So in light of what we're talking about, I decided to take to the internet and try and basically suss out. So like I thought, right, I wanted to like rhyme off a couple other people who were like reported, like celebrities who kind of like reported for or well known for being dickheads. Like, so I thought instead of doing that, I'll play a wee game with you. So I'm gonna tell you a celebrity name and you have to guess whether they're a dick or not.
Should have come up with like a fun name for the game. Like.
Yeah.
Ross's dickheads.
Naughty or Nice Celeb
Naughty
edition.
or Nice Celeb Edition by Ross.
Call it Dickheads or head on over to my house for a cup of tea. Because I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, head on over for a pint.
It's catchy.
So,
catchy.
The first celebrity on my list, and you have to guess, guys, whether they're an asshole or not an asshole. I think I'm starting off pretty easy. Ellen DeGeneres.
Dick.
Yeah, I think she's a dick.
Yeah, so...
whenever you're that nice on TV, you can't be that nice at home.
It's always like, oh...
Yeah, a lot of celebrities actually have come out about her, which I find quite interesting. Like, it's not just fans, like celebrities have actually...
But like, was it not her whole team came out and basically said she's a horrible bitch?
Yeah. So, a 2020 tweet from comedian Kevin T. Porter first sparked the speculation that talk show host Ellen DeGeneres is actually really rude. Ellen is one of the biggest proponents of kindness, so it's almost impossible to believe that she could be a mean celebrity, but the accusations never went away and ultimately led to a full-scale investigation into the claims her own employees made against her. Yep.
Is that it? Do you not even have an example?
No, I don't have an example.
Jeez, fuck's sake.
We'll be here forever. Right, my next celebrity is Jim Carrey.
Nice.
I feel like he's fucking lost the plot. It's a bit of a nut job, isn't
he? I think he's a bit, but I think he's nice.
I think he's sort of a happy-go-lucky kind of guy.
So
you can't... I don't know. You feel like he is nice, but there's a chance he could be a dick.
So he is down as a nice celebrity. I'll give you an example this time. So Jim Carrey once gave me a ride to the gas station after my car ran out of gas in Bel Air. I told him I was a huge fan of Ace Ventura and I could mimic his laugh from the movie. Then we both had our heads out the window cackling away. He bought my gas and drove me back to my car. One of the greatest moments in my life.
That's sick. Love it.
Somebody singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah. Okay, someone just walked past with a cake there.
I thought it was a vigil.
Seen that.
Next one. Tom Hanks.
Dick.
Dick, I have a feeling.
He's definitely a dick.
Apparently no, he's on the nice list.
Is he not part of Epstein's Island? No,
I don't know.
There's rumours, I think.
Tom Hanks. So one person
Ah.
said Tom Hanks at Best Buy. He was in the line in front of me with a cart full, all by himself. I was only buying a bottle of water because they didn't have what I was looking for. I just blurted out, "Forrest Gump is my favourite movie," like a creep, and he turned around and said, "That was my favourite movie to make. I'm glad you love it." He then chatted to me while while about movies as we stood in line. When it was his turn to check out, while they were ringing up his stuff, he said, "Oh, let me get that water for you," and paid for my water. He kept talking to me, and then we walked out, and he said, "Nice talking to you. You're a very nice young lady, and always remember, life is like a box of chocolates."
Nice.
Yeah, convenient.
That's what story Stein's made up.
No, that's too.
I love how you went Epstein Islands and then it ends with, "You're a very nice young lady."
Yeah.
Yeah, another one.
Step into my van.
And then,
What age are you?
step into my Tom Hanks van.
Lady, more like the girl.
Kid.
We later found out the girl was 7 years old.
Yeah, another one. Bruce Willis.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna say nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yep, he's been reported as being nice. One Walmart worker said that I was in Walmart and there was something that I needed on the top shelf at the near the back. At the time, I was only 5 foot. I'm a bit taller now, so I scaled up the shelf and over to the side to get
Another
the food
kid.
item. But I needed. When I got down, I noticed this guy watching me. I realized it was Bruce Willis, and he complimented my shelf climbing by telling me, "You've some pretty cool Spider-Man skills, dude." There you go.
What age was this by?
Don't know. Right, here's the one. Sandra Bullock.
Cunt. She looks like a cunt.
I think she's nice.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice to see Sandra.
I think she's nice.
Sandra Bullock had a shockingly rude moment with a fan that tarnished her reputation for good. Reportedly, a veteran and a fan of Sandra's who was in a wheelchair asked the star for an autograph. After his request, she covered her face and shouted insults at the man. Sure, she can't make time for every fan, but yelling at a person is no way to turn down a request as simple as an autograph. Onlookers were shocked by her response.
See, that's the shit thing about being a celebrity. One thing and you're fucked, like.
What can you
Like
decide?
that's your whole reputation, no matter how nice you are for the rest of your life.
So
moment.
it's hard to know because I'm obviously going to give you one interaction and you're just going to base that off. So here's one for you and you'll like this.
Alright.
Will Ferrell.
Nice. Has to be nice. Well.
I think he could be a bit of a dick.
He's down here
big
on
time,
he's down here in the naughty list.
No,
He's on Ross's naughty list. So this one hurts pretty bad. Comedian Will Ferrell is beloved by so many. It was heart-wrenching to discover that he's actually known for being rude to his fans. It seems some comedians take the sarcastic and dry approach that many people mistake for being mean. When fans ask him for an autograph, he's known to tease them for even making the request.
Is that bad?
Imagine you walk
I
up
love
to,
Will Ferrell and something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine you walk up to Will Ferrell and you go, "Can I have an autograph?" And he's like, "I don't know, can you?" And you're like, and he's like, "No, seriously, piss off."
It's like a laugh.
So here's Jennifer Lawrence.
Bitch.
Lawrence. I'd say she's nice.
This actually
She's lovely.
this actually really scarred me because I'm a big Jennifer Lawrence fan.
Oh yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence is actually known for being rude.
Yeah.
So Jennifer Lawrence is known for her relatable personality and sense of humor, but not for being super nice to her fans. She's even admitted herself she can be really rude to avoid fan interactions. In a Variety interview, she shared that the fame and public attention make her uncomfortable. "I'll become incredibly rude. I turn into a huge expletive. That's my way of only defending myself, and I apologize."
It's just like a reaction.
So there you go.
Solid.
I have tons more if you wanna take a crack at this one. Bryan Cranston.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep.
He's got to be nice.
Met Bryan Cranston
Malcolm in
once
the
at
Middle.
Bellagio whilst on holiday in Vegas. I was a bit fanboyish and blurted out, "Oh my god, it's Heisenberg." Almost immediately his facial expression went angry and he walked straight up to me and actually muttered, "How dare you call me out like that? If people knew who I was, I wouldn't be in this business. Next time you call me out like that, be ready for a barrel." Then he smiled and started laughing and we ended up talking for about 10 minutes or so about Breaking Bad. He gave me an autograph. I was so happy. I asked him if he wanted to join us for a few drinks, but he politely declined as he was waiting for his missus and daughter. Such a cool guy.
What a dude. Man.
Adam Sandler.
Dick.
Ooh, I think
Wasn't there a video of him going?
No, I think he's nice. I know a story. I've seen a story and apparently he's nice.
Go on ahead.
Leonardo DiCaprio met him one time in the street, didn't he? And he like fucking ran up and asked for an autograph.
Apparently, when Brad Pitt done an interview with Adam Sandler, it was like some sort of fucking magazine type of thing, and apparently there was a teacher when Adam Sandler was in school, and he basically along the lines of like, you're never gonna amount to anything type of thing.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler went into a pub one day with all his mates and went up to the teacher. He bumped into the teacher, went up to the teacher and bought him a drink and like introduced him to all his friends. I was really sound him.
Could have been a wanker there. Like. Would you have been a wanker in that situation?
Don't know though, but I feel like it's nice that he was a nice guy. Do you know, it's sort of a one-up.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think that's a bigger one-up because he's like, because he's going to be sitting there
that's
thinking,
a double fuck you, like.
yeah, because he's going to be sitting there thinking he's going to come over and tell me to fuck off, but then he come over and he's nice, and then he
think the teacher remembered saying that to him?
Probably not.
Imagine actually
but if you taught, like, if you were a teacher and you taught Adam Sandler and he went on, your claim to fame would be like, I taught him.
Yeah, that's
Do you
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your story? Is he a dick or nice?
No, he's nice. Apparently, this fan account says that he apparently met a fan with his Spanish-speaking mother, and he like stood for ages and got like the person to translate the Spanish so he could have like a conversation. Like he stood for ages and like done the whole translation thing. I think it's dead on.
Do you know he just plays like basketball with random people?
Yeah.
Like he just drives around and he'll
See,
stop at a basketball court.
He's not on the list, but I've heard Shaquille O'Neal's a dead on guy. Like he'll like when he's in like Costco, he's like, I've got all this money that I'm never going to take with me, so every time I'm in the store I like to bless someone. But like there's videos of him just like walking up to random kids in like Costco and being like, you got a bike? And they're like, no. And he's like, ask your mum, can I buy you a bike? And he goes, right, go. And then the kid's picking a bike. He's like, why not pick that one? It's more expensive. Like, imagine that. Like.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. If you were standing in like Asda, or say you were in like say you were in like one like the Trafford Centre, like massive place, you can have whatever you want, and a celebrity turned around and went, I'm going to buy you whatever you want today. How far would you go? How much would you take the piss? Like, would you just go on an absolute spending spree, you know? Or would you go to like because I feel like it's like a cultural thing over here to be humble.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a Polaris store in there.
If I was in the Trafford Centre, I probably would have got them to buy me like the Iron Man helmet.
Yeah.
Or like
was it
the Infinity Gauntlet or something.
I'd probably like drop the new Call of Duty game in their basket and be like, I'll have that please, if that's okay.
It depends where you are though. Like.
Yeah.
If you're near Kiar place though.
Tesla.
Yeah, there's a Polaris shop in Kiar, you know those electric cars.
So you could buy the Kiar and sell it and get the cash.
Yeah, that's it.
Just get a gift card.
Investment.
I'll end with the last one. Jamie Foxx.
Nice.
Who the fuck's Jeannie Fox?
Jamie Foxx.
Oh, Jamie.
She take my money.
How Jeannie from up the road there. Yeah, probably nice guy.
Nice guy.
Nope. Apparently he's on the naughty list. Comedian Tommy Davidson shared a few questionable stories about Jamie Foxx in his memoir. The two met on the set of In Living Colour, and Jamie reportedly got a few laughs at Tommy's expense. Tommy claimed that in an attempt to get a cheap laugh in a sketch, Jamie ripped off his underwear, leaving him naked on set, which deeply offended him. The two had major tension throughout filming, and in the next project together, the 1997 movie Booty Call.
Did you not? Did you see the thing of, you know, your guys in Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
The guy who works in behind the bar.
Oh yeah.
He was on a podcast and he said Ryan Reynolds was a dick to him. It's basically like they were filming scenes and all, and like there was a scene where they were like, oh, just like go, what do you call it when there's no script?
Improv.
Yeah, just improv scene. So like Ryan Reynolds improv the scene and basically just like ripped into him, like proper ripped him to shreds.
Yeah.
And like he was just standing there, what the fuck? And apparently he walked off the set and he was like, is it just me or was that like
real?
A bit weird. And they were like, that's so fucking weird what he just done there. Like. And then he went on that podcast, but then Ryan Reynolds got in touch with him and basically was like,
I love you, man.
I love you, dude. It's always the guys you think the nicest, but then I'd like to think
nice guys always finish last.
I don't want to think about Ryan Reynolds not being nice though.
Hurt my feelings.
Anyway, you have a few celebrity interaction stories that you'd like to share.
That's why we weren't doing stories there, because that was my job.
Oh, sorry. Well, he forced me into it. Huh?
I absolutely didn't.
He made me.
You made that decision.
But anyway.
So it's Jason Momoa.
Oh, please, not Momoa.
Yeah.
Momoa, so, no.
I was down to meet Jason Momoa, and he finally got the chance after a party an indie movie was having. It was a small venue in LA. Some bands were playing. Jason walked in and a few people started to talk to him. Once they passed, I bought a beer and approached him. I gave him the beer and asked how his night was. He was kind of drunk already from the look of it, but he pounded the beer without saying anything. I wasn't too sure what to think, so I got more to the point and asked, would it be cool to get a pic? He leaned into my face and said, tonight isn't about that. Tonight is about me, and walked away. Not even 5 minutes later, he was taking pics of some other people across the venue and signing some autographs. Aquaman is a wanker.
Would it not fuck you off though? Like people just coming up blocking photos all the time.
Yeah.
Get it. But then, like do you think you give one? Like, can you not? Like,
I know,
where do you
not,
stop?
Can you imagine? Like, say the three of us went out and we were super famous, like,
yeah,
and we were just wanted to go out on the night out, have a few beers.
Yeah.
And one person spotted you and was like, "Oh, there's Shay."
Yeah.
And was like, ran over, got a photo, and then everyone else starts to notice, and your night just turns into taking photos all night.
Yeah. Well, there has been nights where we've been out and we've spoke to people for a while, like, but not every
but
fucking.
Jesus Christ, though. It's like,
if it was
talking to like 2 or 3 people. But imagine like you went to like that night we were in the National, and it was jammed.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like 80% of the people there were like, "Oh my god, where's Shay?" Looking a photo. Like.
Yeah, so you don't mind like talking to one person, but like
that's what I'm saying.
You can't even enjoy your night out.
But
like.
that's every day when you're that big of a celebrity. Like even if you were going into like Santra to get milk or something,
you couldn't help get pissed off. Like
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
like I do get it. Like I get the whole photo thing. Like.
Yeah,
but I think the James Corden thing's a bit out of line. Like, the way you went on, if that's true. Like
I met this one artist from ZZ Top at a super nice hotel in Louisville. It wasn't a big deal to me, but it was to my cousin. My cousin asked, "I'm sorry to bother you, but may I get an autograph? I'm a really big fan." The 1Z replied, "Sure thing. Let me run up to my room really quickly and get the rest of the guys from the band." We watched them go up to the room and waited for a little over an hour. My cousin cried. Fuck the Z's in particular. So then he never came back down.
Yeah.
So he goes, "I'm going up to get the rest of the band and I'll give you autographs."
Nice.
He never came back down.
I thought that was good.
Was it? ZZ Top.
I don't know who that is.
Are they not very like rock and roll or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious though.
That's such a good. I think that's good. Like, you'd feel like a wanker waiting, but at the same time, he wasn't rude to him. Like,
yeah.
Like it wasn't a direct like ignorant comment he made or anything.
So then if he'd have just said no, he would have been pissed off anyway.
True.
It's the waiting though.
Yeah.
If you waited an hour, like,
you'd
be like, "Fuck you."
Like, yeah.
But apparently Roy Keane's like if you ask him for a photo, he'll just be like, "Fuck off."
Yeah. But do you expect that from Roy Keane? Like?
But he explained that he's done that like overlap with Gary Neville.
Yeah.
And he was like asking him, he's like, "What do you want a photo for?" Like just to post it up on social media. Like he's just like, you do get it, man.
Yeah, I suppose like I look back, I always come back to this story, but like the time I met your man Marcus Mumford in Dublin, and I walked up and I was like, "Oh, really sorry to bother you, but could we get a photo?" You know what I mean? And I kind of get it now when I look back, like with a couple of years, like in hindsight, it's like he proper stood and was like, "Oh, so what do you think of the concert last night?" And actually had like an interaction with me. And see, to be honest with you, the fact that I have that probably, like, this sounds really weird, but it probably means more than the photo up on the wall. But do you know what I mean?
If you hadn't got the
photo. If I hadn't got the photo, everybody would have been like,
but I feel like
did it happen?
There's
though?
this thing now where like if you don't get a photo, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Even for stupid shit like going on holidays.
But like to be fair, that photo is like, I mean, like it's a lot to me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's weird because like when you've listened to someone for so long, it's like it actually does become like a sentimental thing. Like if I ever lost a copy of that photo, I'd be raging. Like,
would you say you're the biggest fan?
I wouldn't say it. Wait, yeah, like I'm a really big fan. I'm a really big fan. Like I'm not like posters all over the room, absolutely obsessed type thing, but at the same time, like
who the fuck goes to a concert in Dublin on Belfast?
Yeah, well, I
love the music. Like
I
genuinely,
I sort of anticipated that you'd talk about Marcus Mumford. So part of my surprise is you're going to do a quiz with Mumford and Sons. Couldn't get a specific Marcus Mumford one.
You know me so well.
Sure, surprise. So secret. So surprising.
Don't ask me about dates because I'm not going to know.
How many questions is there?
13.
Well, we'll do 5.
No, do them all. Go
quick.
Quick fire.
They get
hold on. I'll give you a minute.
They get harder as we go down, right?
Nice, sweet.
Right, hold on.
Marcus gets harder or what?
How long takes fair enough? Like?
5
will you see me not knowing any of these, and then you post it, and then Marcus Mumford sees it, and then he sees me while I'm in the crowd in Belfast, and he goes, "I know you."
You wish.
Get out.
We'll go 3 minutes. All
right.
Quick fire.
Yeah.
Go.
Right, start off easy. Who are the 4 members of Mumford and Sons?
Marcus Mumford, Well, there's actually 3 now. Marcus Mumford, Ben Lovett, Ted Dwayne, Winston Marshall. But
Okay.
Winston Marshall's left the band.
Are Mumford and Sons actually related?
No.
No. What animal is a figurine that Ben sometimes has on his keyboard?
Ooh. Is it a horse?
There's no option for horse, so I'm going to say
Wrong.
no. Right, who's the only member of the band who did not play for Laura Marling? Oh.
I think it's Ted. Yeah?
I don't know. What name did Winston use? I'll tell you at the end. What name did Winston use to go by?
I don't know. Winnie? Win? I don't know.
Win is an option.
Yeah, Win. Let's
Right,
go for
what
that.
member of the band used to date Laura Marling and is now married to the actress Carey Mulligan?
Marcus Mumford.
What is one of the nicknames Winston gave to himself? Don't have.
Yeah.
No.
Wendigo, nickname dude, banjo lover.
Hmm?
Wind dog, nickname dude, banjo lover.
Windog.
What is Ted's nickname?
I don't know.
You're terrible.
Don't know.
What's Ted's full name?
Ted Dwayne.
An
Yeah.
option. What is Marcus' full name?
Marcus Mumford.
Middle names, no.
I actually do weirdly know this one, but I forget. I forget.
I'll just go Marcus Mumford. What is Winston's full name?
I don't know.
Probably don't know. What is Ben's full name?
Don't know.
What are the names of the 2 Mumford and Sons albums?
2? There's like 5, man. There's like 4. Sigh No More, Babel, Wilder Mind, Delta.
Yeah, got them.
I Am a Legend.
You have a minute left.
Out of 13, you missed 4
Oh, yeah. That was all the name was on.
and got 3 wrong.
Ooh.
Oh.
Maybe I'm not the biggest
You're
Marcus
not
Mumford.
the biggest Mumford.
Well, I will give you that there were Mumford and Sons
Yeah,
questions more so
I
than
know.
Marcus Mumford questions.
Scam.
Scam. I am a
So,
scam.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we're going to end it there because we're way over on time. If you've listened and you enjoy, make sure and subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends and family, and be sure to leave a little comment and a review if you enjoyed. Until next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.